Happy Friday, it's Jamin with Keene Point of View, the intersection of politics, gay issues, and Christianity. I want to give a shout out to Nike for ruining my life tonight and trying to get to the gym. They're having a half marathon this weekend and already streets are closing. Nike, you suck. Scandal, such a touching episode tonight. Huck has a family. Melly tried to make things about her, but that wasn't the touching part. The touching part was that Huck has a family. In Christian news, again, please stay prayed up, because if you don't, God will lovingly bring you back to Him, but it may embarrass you. That's all I'm going to say. And another Christian news. In Syria, 2 bishops were kidnapped. However, news reports are saying that they were freed, and then the Christians in the area were saying that they were not freed. So, anyway, the situation is crazy enough for Christians living in Syria that they actually have to support Assad, who has been violently crushing the rebellion in his country and even resorted to using chemical weapons. Christians in the country are afraid of the Muslims who will be taking over once Assad goes, because the Sunni Muslims are not tolerant of Christianity and they'll wipe them out. This is just crazy. Talk about being between the proverbial rock and another rock. It's a big mess. So just keep them in prayer and pray that the bishops return okay. In political news, former President George Walker Bush W, number 43, he opened his presidential library on Thursday, April 25th. Former presidents Clinton, Carter, and Bush Sr. were there along with President Obama, and they spoke about President Bush, but they really didn't speak anything about his term in office. They really focused more on his childhood and anecdotes from his book that he wrote. The library really emphasizes his role in September 11th and his handling of the situation afterwards, and they're saying that he showed leadership, which he did do. It's just that once we got to Afghanistan and Iraq, things just started really falling apart. Conservatives are now putting out on Twitter and in the media that Bush wasn't that bad of a president, and that now Americans who were interviewed and polled said that they give him now a 47% approval rating, when he left office with one of the lowest approval ratings for any president in history. I don't understand how America keeps forgetting stuff. Like, you're acting like idiots. Please stop being the idiotic country. You are completely forgetting how much you didn't like him. You're completely forgetting that while you feel that Bush kept us safe, we were not any safer over here because of what we were doing in foreign countries. The economy was not booming, and it did crash under his policy. Our standing overseas was not looked at as being strong and dependable, and we were not in any way, shape, or form any safer traveling overseas. We were in danger while traveling overseas, and every foreign country did not love our policies, and it was not a great time at all. I agree with Laura Bush, who is President Bush's wife, when she was interviewed and said, they asked her, does she feel that her brother-in-law Jeb Bush should run for president, and she said she thinks America has had enough Bushes for president. I agree, Laura. I so wholeheartedly agree with that one. In gay news, France and Rhode Island now have gay marriage, and the Delaware House has approved a resolution to allow gay marriage in the state. It now goes to the Senate. In other gay news, in Saudi Arabia, 3 men went to visit the country for a festival, and they were deported from Saudi Arabia. One of the men, Omar Burkan Al-Ghala, was deported along with the other 2, and he started posting pictures to do an in-depth analysis of the situation. So Saudi Arabia deported the men because they said the men were too beautiful and would entice the women to lust, and that the foreign men would steal their women. Let's examine the evidence. So wait, this is Omar? This man, he looks like, he really looks like, God dumped all the beautiful from the bowl onto that man. My goodness. This man is an actor, a photographer, and a poet, and he's completely pimping himself out right now to get all the attention that he can, to get you to notice that he is A, beautiful, and B, an actor, photographer, and poet. And I'm sure we'll be seeing more from him on somebody's movie screen at some point, because I was going to drag the macho heterosexual Saudis for being threatened by some random guy's appearances and talk about underlying homosexual tendencies and stuff, but I completely understand where they're coming from. Really? In closing, once again, this is Jamin with Keene Point of View, the intersection of gay issues, politics, and Christianity. Go ahead and check out the blog this week, KeenePointOfView.com. I blogged about the Boston Marathon bombings. I also talked about what Christians can learn from the anti-gay marriage movement in France, which ultimately lost this week. And I talk about a conservative group in Colorado who sent out mailers, and in the mailer they blurred out all black people and replaced a black woman's face with a white woman's face. And I also take the ex-gay movement to task, using California's banning of ex-gay therapy as a springboard. Have a happy Friday, happy weekend, go out and make it a great one. And just FYI, my Twitter handle has now changed. It is now Keene POV. You'll see it right after this. Take care.